Happy Thursday, brother. How
Hey, happy Thursday to you as well, sister. How you doing?
wonderful. I'm so happy to be in the Rose Garden with you.
Yeah, it's just I'm working on some technical stuff in the background because I want to make sure this Facebook thing go
I
well
know
this time because I'm waiting for it to light up, but I haven't seen it give us the
dude,
option to go live yet.
it still hasn't. Oh my goodness. Well, folks are gonna just have to jump on over to YouTube because that's where it's definitely working.
Oh, I see what happened.
What
The
happened?
our persistence key must have changed.
Do you want to jump
Something
out?
happened on it, huh?
You want to jump out and do it again?
Yeah. Let's jump into it. Oh well, hold up. Let's see it pop back on. So let's see. And what I think we can keep going.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So, hey, the gods was with us today, huh?
Day they were. They wanted us to have this because it was, folks was missing us last week. I got these text messages like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "We were recording. I don't know what you're talking about."
I
You know,
hear that.
I try not to miss my Thursdays in the Rose Garden unless it's like a holiday.
Well,
uh,
we must have some good luck because we got a special guest with us today. But I'll let you do that
we
intro.
do have a guest with us today, but before we do that, I got to check in on that arm and see how you did because the group chat was saying that they was liking you more, as an invalid.
Well, I
Said-
said I shall do my best to show them, what kind of trouble an invalid can get itself into, huh?
they were appreciative of the fact that um that you were being kind.
I'm
So,
always kind. I'm always kind.
Mom says that there's something happening. I don't know where she's looking at, but if it's on YouTube, it should be fine. But maybe she's looking on.
Oh, what she say? What she say is happening?
She said it's blank. Hold on, I'm texting her now, so we might have to.
Maybe that's it. Maybe yeah, let's get that right because maybe it's her connection.
She said that it's on YouTube and just old shows. I think she has to. YouTube is fine because I know it's up.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
So
Yeah,
that's
we gotta get the silver lady up
it.
into modern technology, right?
You know what happened to her? That girl clicked just the regular. You gotta go live,
I
labs. You
know,
gotta
go to the
go
live
live, do
tab,
that
right?
live show. So all right. Well, today, because we had it. You know, had a special guest last week. He was intrigued about his invitation to come back. So
Yeah,
let's go
yeah.
ahead. Let's bring him in so he can kind of hang out with us.
Hey, hey,
Ah, there he is, my brother-in-law. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, brother-in-law?
Good. I
It's
guess for
good to see you.
yeah, man. For all the other uh Rose Garden viewers, you gotta introduce yourself, brother.
Absolutely. Good. Well, listen, my name is Bruce James. I'm the husband of Sarita James. We've been married for 23 years, and it's been a lovely ride, and I can't wait to discuss it.
Oh
Ah,
man, that's
Good to
what's
be
up,
here in
man.
the Rose Garden.
Congratulations for that stretch, yo. 23 years.
Absolutely.
Hey, 2 more years, that's a life sentence right there. You know what I
Hey, we will happily walk that down, brother. We will happily walk it down.
we could happily. It doesn't even feel like it. Wait a minute now. Like, and our anniversary was like a few days ago too. So
Yes, it
like it's like
was.
2023 fresh years. You know.
Oh, really? Yeah. So this is like the 23 entry right here, huh?
Like we're like we just got introduced to it. We're a December couple. So
And we are still trying to keep that newlywed feel, so it's pretty good. Pretty good.
absolutely. You wanna know what's funny? Yesterday, Sinai took a picture of us, right? And we were sleeping, but it's emblematic of like who we are because I'm like it was like he's like the perfect cuddler. So like I'm like right in the like you can barely see my face, but I'm on his shoulder, and there's covers and he's like holding me. And I was like, you're like the perfect cuddler. It was such a great picture.
Hey,
So
that's crazy. She came and got you all in the camera,
Hey, look, I was at
huh?
work earlier, right? And I opened up my photos and saw those pictures. So I immediately had to send it to Sanaa and Sarita, like, this is what your daughter's doing when we're fasting. You know?
Hey,
So
that's
it's
why
pretty funny.
That's why I told your wife, I said, yo, I call these people like domestic terrorists. I mean, they grown folks now. You still can't get no privacy, huh?
Not at all. Not at all.
You definitely have to lock doors. You know, nothing is, when they were younger, we would try to get our, we call it mommy and daddy time. So we would try to lock the door, but the kids are smart. So the kids would figure out how to open up the door, and especially the youngest one, she'd bang all through and be like, nobody locks doors around here, she's a little
Kids
kid,
do this.
telling us what to do, So I was like, then I got, conditioned, like, the baby gangsters is gonna be coming in here. So you might as well not lock the door, because or they be knocking, mommy, 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 daddy.
Right.
Hey,
And
I got
oh, go ahead, brother-in-law.
no, you go ahead, brother. What are you gonna say?
It's funny because we're empty nesters now, right? But Sanaya's been home. Our daughter's been home for a couple of days, but the house, we know how quiet it is when we're in bed. So since she's been home, now we hear dishes, we hear footsteps all night. We hear her working on the door to see if it's still open. So there's definitely an adjustment period to that, but we welcome her being home.
Yes.
Well, y'all gotta walk us through to not having nothing in the nest, to then being empty nesters. Walk us through the journey. What's it been like?
I think we got to start with, because one of the things, the reason why you got to come back is because one, you surprised me and y'all was over there talking behind my back. So I think I'd love to hear the story through your eyes about how we met, because my brother has heard my version
Right.
of how we met, but
So
I want to hear it from your eyes.
My eyes, I would love this. I would love to share this. So 1996, I'm at the University of Maryland, right? Actually in a room playing with some friends, just sitting with some friends, having a great time. In walks Sarita. So my initial thought was, wow, she's a beautiful lady. Like, who's this young girl? Who's this youngster? And I'm 2 years older than Sarita, right? So asked my friend, I was like, who is she, right? And while I was asking my friend, Sarita stepped on my foot. So we had a little friendly banter back and forth, right? And, after that, started seeing her around campus a lot. And I kept seeing her. And every time I saw her, I would introduce myself again, ask how she's doing, but in a way that was kind of annoying to her, right? So long story short, we became fast friends. And in about 2 years, so 1998, we started dating. I was lucky enough to get the opportunity to date Sarita. But mind you, we were friends for 2 years prior. So we had a really good friendship, right? And that kind of catapulted us into dating. So that was how we met. But I made yeah.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you gonna say?
I made every attempt to know her schedule. So whenever I knew she was coming out of the building, whenever I knew she was coming out of her dorm, I made sure to lift my window up and be like, hey, where you going, Sarita?
No, he didn't call me Sarita. He was annoying. What's very funny about this description is we're introduced to you all are all getting to see my husband in this very refined version. Okay. He is first of all, he doesn't even sound like he sounded in when I first met him. Like, he had this very, very New Orleans accent. And he was, the context that you'll relate to the most is our nephew, our son, your nephew. He had bridled wildness, like absolutely, just like our son. That so when he says he's lifting up, windows, that boy is like saying, "Hey, girl, hey, Red, you hear me talking to you?" Da, 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 da. And I was like, this was like Sarita 96. So I'm like, fuck you, stop talking. Like, who are you? So, and like, he wore me down, and he did a very polite version of our introduction.
What was it you were doing that that was indicating that you was annoyed? How you were saying that he was coming up on you and he was doing stuff in an annoying way. How do you know you were annoyed with it? And were you really annoyed, or you were just playing coquettish?
My version that he misses, which because you read my diary.
Allegedly, right?
Yeah, allegedly, yeah. I ain't gonna never admit to no fault or guilt or something.
Well, my version of that is like, I met him before I actually met him.
I hear you.
I was with my girlfriends in the dining hall, and like I said, his voice was melodic, and he, like, if New Orleans accents, that's what he actually sounded like back then. And so, you know, and I mean, very heavy. Him and his really good friend Tex, I used to think they were speaking another language to each other. Like, I used to make, I'd be like, what are y'all talking about? Like, but I heard his voice first. And I was playing with my girlfriends at the table saying, because you could hear him too. Like he was boisterous and loud, and he was coming into the dining hall, and I heard his voice. I met his voice first. And I said to my friend, like, I'm gonna marry that voice like that, right? I didn't know who he was. I didn't even know what he looked like. And then, like, literally, like maybe 5 days later, I I walk into this room of a friend we had in common. They're all hanging out, and I heard the voice, but then I heard the voice after I stepped on his toes. So it's like this immediate, like, oh, that's what that voice looks like.
So when you stepped on his toes, did you apologize? What did you say to him?
Absolutely not.
I didn't even have time to, because what did you say to me?
I don't recall. What did I say? What did I say?
That'd be his version of the story, because he was like, we had colorful banter. Basically, we cussed each other out for like a long time. Like I don't even know how long it was, but my friend who I was coming to visit like had to carry me out, right? And he was like, why are you always embarrassing me?
Man, that is true. That is true.
He was like, hey, well, I can't take you nowhere. I can't take you around my friends. Your mouth is so smart. And I was like, I don't care about them.
Hey, brother-in-law, but you know, 1996, I'm a struggling college student, right? It was the one pair of tennis shoes that I had. So when she stepped on them, I went into immediate panic.
I hear you on that. I hear you. That's a flagrant violation. Right. Hey, so let me ask y'all this, right? Yeah. About the statement he said in terms of the 2 years that it took y'all to establish a friendship, right? Because I feel like the foundation of y'all relationship, the anchor point is the friendship y'all established, you know what I mean? Absolutely. So that's carried y'all for these like 23 years. So how was that like? What was the process of building that up?
Well, I'll say it again. Every opportunity that I had to see Sarita, right, I made myself available, right? But there was one day in particular where Sarita was on campus. I noticed her, and I was coming back from the mall. Had just purchased some shirts from, I think it was Old Navy. No, it was the Gap, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I saw Sarita, and she was having a bad day. And I'm like, asking her, I'm like, well, what's going on? What's wrong? And it was an Indian summer, and I'll never forget. The weather warmed up, right? And she was like, I don't have any shirts. I don't have any clothes. I can't get home. So I was like, you know what? Take these shirts that I purchased, and I gave them to her.
All of them?
All of them. I purchased 3 shirts. It was like 3 for $20. I'll never forget it. And I gave her 3 shirts. But prior to that, right, earlier that week, we saw each other again. And there was that banter where it was half, you know, like we were talking and bantering and stuff. But again, I was being annoying. So she would always tell me, like, just leave me alone and get out my face, right? but after giving her the shirts, I feel like that's where the relationship kind of started to change. And she was like, well, he's not that bad, right? So after that, I mean, I think it meant a lot to Sarita, and that's where the friendship really started to get established.
So how did you know? Like, what was the things that started changing? Like, how did it start getting deeper? Like,
I'll tell you, so when I would see Sarita after that, right? The discussions went from please get out of my face to hey, let's walk to the dining hall and grab some lunch together, right? I knew the way it was through food. It was through food, right? I had the best meal plan on college campus because of the meal plan, right?
Right.
So, and I knew I couldn't use all of the money that I had on the meal plan. So whenever I saw Rita, I would give her my meal card and or ask her to go to the dining hall with me. So we kind of strengthened our relationship over food. And good company and good discussion, you know? And then she kind of got to know a little more about me, where I came from, you know, and I got to notice things about her, you know, and she revealed a lot about how she grew up. And we started to feel like really understand that we had a lot in common. And
that's what's up.
The things that kind of started to bring us together.
And then, like, you know, during this time, y'all were for lack of a better way of describing it, naked to each other, meaning that y'all both had some encumbrances, and y'all both was observing them things, and basically y'all were being completely yourself during this period of establishing the friendship, right?
I
Would you
definitely
say so? Yeah.
You know what? The best part of all of it was we weren't trying to date. So
Hmm.
I think, that was like the better part of it. Like, I know I have a lot of friends in the group chat. They're all trying to date.
Mm.
When you're trying to date, you're putting like all these great parts of yourself out. And, like I think the first 2 years, Bruce saw me in sweatpants, t-shirts, and a ponytail, like every day, like I wasn't like dressing up. I don't even know if I put like lipstick on or anything or chapstick. I didn't care, it was just him.
Yeah.
But like when you're trying to date someone, you know, you're always putting yourself on and you're doing, and so I think that
Hmm.
difference is like I wasn't really trying to date him. I just was trying to get to know him. And I didn't think I was gonna ever date him initially, right? Like I never was like I wasn't like, oh yeah, other than the voice thing, right? Where I said, and I didn't know who he was. I didn't know he had like a little nasty
Tell
mouth.
them what you said.
Um, so I wasn't trying to date him. I was just, when I would see him, he would be this nice person that I knew. And so that was the easy part. I think when we started being attracted to each other was the hard part
Why
because
was it hard?
um I think it was hard because I know for me, I didn't want to date him. I liked our friendship so much
Yeah.
that like I hadn't had a boyfriend that was so like what he's missing is like there was a button that never went off with him. So like literally we could party all night, we could talk all night, we could go all night and have at every point we were at, it was fun, whether it was in the dining hall, whether it was like in DC, whether we went to see, he took me to Haynes Point. Like this seems real to watch
You remember this? Go
to
ahead.
watch planes take off. Like that doesn't sound fun, but we had we had so much fun doing that. Like the whole trip and the whole experience there.
Good
We took
and expensive fun.
yeah, because we were poor, so we had
Right, right.
like literally we were like watching planes take off, and that was like I still remember it. I still remember how I felt. So we weren't
What was
trying.
fun about it though? Like, what made that special? What do you
He's
think?
a clown, like he talks to everybody, and then he
Oh,
was like
okay.
he figured out how to feed us on $7. Like I've always been like, we had financial insecurity. We didn't grow
Right,
up with
right.
money. So, like I would be like, okay, we can't go here because we don't have no money. He was like, girl, we can $7 is and he would feed me $7. Like, you know,
I feel you.
and I'm talking about good. Like we got like Popeyes for $3.99. That was a double meal for two, and he figured out to buy one get one. And
But
so
look, oh, go ahead, Reed.
no, go ahead.
Can we tell them about the first test we had in that friendship? So, brother-in-law, one of those $7 meals were the 2 for $6 at McDonald's, right? Never forget this. This was one of our first dates. Rita, you know what I'm gonna say. We get the 2 combos, right? We separate the fries, the burgers, the drinks. She immediately took both fries, put them in the middle of the table. So for me, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, we don't split fries. You remember that, Sarita? And I was like, I must really like this woman if I let her share, we shared the meal.
Yeah,
It's serious.
it's just the community fries now. We gonna put it in. Yeah.
Family style. Yes, we did.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
It was family
Hey,
style.
so yeah, so when y'all building this friendship, right, and you talking about the emotional context behind it, do you like what does it mean? Like you as a friend, do you know like you got some internal love for the person? You think about them, you miss them, you want to see them, like
So
what does it mean at that time?
it's a great question. So I'll answer that from my lens, right? So my dad, shortly after Sarita and I became friends, established our friendship, my dad passed away in July of 1997, right? And never forget this. And I remember when he passed, the only support in person I could think of was Sarita. So I flew back to Louisiana. I'm with my family, and I'm thinking like the one person I'd like to speak to, kind of process all of this was Sarita. You know what I mean? And that's when I started thinking like, wow, she means a hell of a lot to me. You know what I mean? And for me, that was the thing that made me really start to examine how much I cared for Sarita and how much I knew she cared for me, not only as a person, but as a friend,
Yeah, yeah. I call those moments of truth, right? Like
Yeah,
those little moments of truth where you know the emotions are intense, like something really heavy is happening and all this stuff. And in those moments, like definitely was really real shit. You know?
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the beginning too, I think it's also good to say, like, so that's the good part.
Right.
But it got bad too, right? Like we had to, it didn't get, I will say this, it did
Hmm.
not get bad until like, I think we started introducing, like, until after Jalen was born, when life got real. Like I think the entire first part of our relationship, at least the first 4 years, was great.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Totally.
then when we introduced children, I think one, I think our relationship moved really quickly. We became friends, lovers, parents in a very short time period.
Absolutely. Yes,
So,
we did. Yes, we
like,
did.
I would have much rathered enjoy, like, so we did have a nice friendship period, but I would have
Okay.
loved to be lovers a little longer. You know
Yeah.
what I
I
mean?
got you.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Because
So
when
how did it change with why, like I think a lot of people they want to accelerate that too, like, the love and then the parenting and all the stuff that comes with it. So what changed? What was the most thing changed with being the parents that affected the love dynamic?
Well, I think the time split. The time and attention is split, right?
Mm.
You have a newborn, and mind you, we had Jalen, our first kid. What was it? 2 years after we really started dating,
yeah.
so we were still really getting to know each other. Getting to
Mhm,
know the likes, the dislikes, and then you couple that with us having a kid. So
mhm,
immediately we had to strip some of the attention away from each other to focus on the newborn kid we had. So I think that was challenging for both of us because we were pretty young. We didn't have a lot of money, right? And there were stressors. The life stressors came in. So
mhm,
once that happens, it really does test the relationship.
So
mhm.
what did y'all do about it? How when y'all knew the relationship was
Fought
getting
through it.
tested
I
and
think
strained, what y'all
we
do?
had to fight a lot. I think,
Uh,
I think, and again, we bickered. I don't want to say fight. Like we bickered a lot about, you got to think too, we were growing up together. So when
no doubt.
I'm a teenager, and then
Hmm.
I'm I'm 20, and then I turned 21 with him. So I had my first drink with him. Like all these like milestones were happening, and then at the same time we were parenting,
Yeah.
which was, I wanted to really be a good mom, and I know he wanted to be a good dad.
Mhm.
And so together we wanted to be good parents. So I think there was this big shift between like being good to each other and being good to the kid. And we were always good to the kid. Like that was never a problem. But there was times we weren't just good to each other, right? And um I think when you're young, you think that it's okay not to be because you're like, I remember even thinking like, well, I can't give it all to Bruce because when am I going to give it to myself? Like,
Yes. Yeah.
like it was all about me. And then I'm like, I didn't had his baby, and my body doesn't look the same, and he looks the same. Like
Look what he
all
did to me.
yeah, like I was really like blaming him for like the distorted, you know, the stretch marks, and all the things that you don't even talk about out loud, but it was true, and so there was times where I was angry, and because I just didn't have enough time to just breathe by myself or do whatever, and then Bruce would be in your face, and I told you he was annoying, so he was in your face, doing silly, stupid stuff. So it was hard. It was hard in the beginning.
And if,
Well,
if
being as though Bruce lost his dad, like before y'all were really a thing, right? And then, you yourself didn't really have a father or whatever. Did y'all have like any, like during these points, did y'all have any like external inputs to help calibrate y'all, or was this all something that you guys just figured out as y'all were going along?
so if I could say this, right? We came from two different backgrounds,
Mhm,
two sets of experiences, right? I know how my parents raised us and I saw how they interacted with each other, right? And
Hmm.
Sarita had her own experiences with her, her parents and her upbringing, right? So if we're in our early 20s, right? Our discussions initially, our disagreements, our arguments, it was kind of like we both came to those arguments with gunpowder on our tongues. You
Mm.
know, we were like
Hmm.
ready to fight, ready to discuss and fuss instead of really sitting there to kind of figure out how we can help each other through whatever the disagreements were, right? And again, you couple that with the stresses of having a newborn, um, you know, it just complicated a lot of things, and it really was challenging. But the beauty in it was the friendship that we established prior to having a kid. That was the
Mm-hmm.
one thing that kind of got us through it.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of the external help we had, my mom was great, but at the same time, my mom was just dealing with losing her husband, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
she can only give me things through the lens of her being a mom and a wife, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely a challenging time. But like Sarita said, we've always fought for the relationship, right? We've
I
always
hear
fought
that.
for each other. So, you know, that's kind of how I saw it. Rita, you want to add anything?
No, I think it's good. What are some lessons that um you take from our 20 interactions to our 40s? Because in late 40s, almost 50s, what do you like, what did we take that's like, there's some lessons, because I know I can identify key lessons of that I take from where we
So,
started to how we are now.
yeah, I think in our 20s, we didn't care about hurting each other in arguments, right? And we only wanted to be right. I know for myself, I always wanted to be right in an argument. But in my 40s, I don't care about being right. I want to get it right and be happy. I want us to be happy, right? And I think the most important thing that I've taken over the 20 years was um, being intentional about not being deliberate to hurt you in arguments, because we're not going to see eye to eye on everything. No couple does, right? But even at our worst arguments, even during the worst arguments, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to be rude to you. I don't want to be, you know, I just want to always lead with knowing that I love you, knowing that you're the closest person to me, and we'll find resolution, you know. But it's just making sure that you don't hurt the person that you love the most. So that's the thing I've taken from the 20s to the 40s.
What about you, sister?
I think I think that's great. I'm stealing some of your stuff. It's and the next argument we have, I'm gonna remember you said
Right.
that you. But I think we're very intentional also about listening to each other, because I think before we were all in it for the win. One thing y'all don't know is that he was an athlete, so there's a competitive part to both of us in different ways. But he was an athlete. I think he never broke up with this competitive nature, especially early on when we were dating. And um and so and I was competitive in different ways. I didn't, wasn't a college athlete, but I was, definitely chasing academic success. And so we were both very competitive. And I realized there was a point where we were competing with each other for stupid, stupid ass things, you know. And then I just like started saying like, well, that's my partner. We're really supposed to be making each other better. I think
I
the other,
hear you.
I never listened, never. Like, he used to say this, and it used to make me mad. But he was like, "Stop thinking about what you're gonna say next," you know. But he was right, because I was thinking about. I was like, when he was talking, I was formulating the next, and
I
and I
hear
was
that.
and I was gonna make sure it connected to all the bad parts of him, and so I don't do that anymore. And I don't see him as somebody that is trying to hurt me. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing that in all relationships is that,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's gotta be a level of vulnerability that strips away. Like, I don't think that, like he ascends to heaven and leaves his clothes by the door. I used to be very offended by that, because I felt like he was trying, like, I'm a slave, all the rolling dialogue that doesn't make any sense. But
Right.
and it felt very intentional. It felt very intentional.
Yes.
And he would say things like, "Well, aren't you my wife? You don't even cook. You don't even cook."
Hey,
At
he
least,
right on that
at
though.
least
He
leave my
ain't lying.
clothes on the ground, right?
At least you could pick a pile of crap up. But so, that felt like this deliberate wound, But now I feel like I understand him a lot differently, and it's not like he's coming in to take his clothes off and leave him by the door to be like, let me step on Sarita,
Right, right.
So I've learned to really change that lens and be like, we're in partnership with each other. We chose each other. We're not trying to hurt each other, even though hurts may happen. Like, we
Well,
might encounter a hurt.
well, the question that keep coming to my mind is, how Bruce said that you guys used to have gunpowder on your tongues and stuff, early on. So after all the smoke, like how did y'all, you know how like they say sticks and stones could break your bones, but words shouldn't hurt you.
Right.
But that's not true though, because most people, you done told them something or whatever, they
Yeah.
could hold that thing that you said against you for like forever. You know what I mean? And that
Really,
could
this
be
shit from the 90s. Yes.
so how did y'all like make the smoke clear on some of these early on cause pains, that was really like coming from an immature place, but how did y'all get this deep understanding and be able to move past stuff like that?
Well, I think we're both passionate people, right? We're extremely passionate in life, and I think we carry that to our relationship, right? To our marriage. I always tell Sarita, when things are good between us, there's nothing in the world that can do anything to kind of throw me off my square, right? But the flip side of that is when we're not equally yoked or when we're having disagreements, shit sucks, right? I don't want to go home half the time. But again, it's the foundation of knowing we're really here to kind of support each other and not hurt each other. So even if we say hurtful things in arguments, we know that the passion we have to make the marriage work outweighs any of the things that were said during a disagreement.
I feel that.
I agree.
Do y'all go back and like apologize for it? Like
Oh,
later on when you think
We
about it, you're
absolutely.
like,
our
damn, I should have said that shit.
we
I
did
ain't really
not in
mean
our
that.
20s. I don't think we did in 2030s. We did not. I
Right.
think
Yeah.
it was and so because my husband, he does this thing. He has this habit of only seeing like the where we are now. So I
Of course.
got his lips about the part and be like, yeah, we do. We do now. And we're very deliberate about it now. But
hmm
I'm telling you, there was like, that was my gripe, especially like 20, 30, I think 35. I was still pissed that, I would always apologize first. And, and I mean, I would say like, I apologize for blah, blah, blah. And then Bruce was like, because you should have. Because this is the thing. My husband doesn't cuss as much as I do. Okay.
Right.
And so that's the difference by being raised by my grandmother. My grandma was a cusser. She, so and we are Southern, but we not like we not Louisiana Southern.
Right.
So like, Bruce got this image of like, the girl I'm supposed to be. I ain't supposed to cuss. I'm like, girl. And then when I met his mama, I'm like, who the hell are you talking about?
Why can I say that shit, right?
Because mine is like this, and then he's like, you be cussing. I'm like, yes, I do. And then I met his mom. But anyway, he got this little image of what kind of woman you're supposed to be.
Hey.
And, this little tight package. So I didn't come in that package at all. Because my
You
grandma
did it first, right?
No, I cussed him out the day I met him.
Yes, you did. Yes, that was the introduction.
And then listen, every time else whenever I saw him, the first couple times, I was like, look,
Tell
I'm
him what
tired.
you
I'm tired of seeing you. Stop coming around here. And then I was saying little things like little boy, little man.
did. Yes.
I'll be inflammatory on
I
purpose.
was getting inflammatory. And then so I was pushing him back.
I still kept coming though, brother-in-law.
I hear that. That's how, like any real man will do.
Wrong with him. Something's wrong with him, like he keeps talking to me and I don't even like him, So, but I remember a distinct thing happened. So we got in a fight. I was upset about it. So what we used to do is we used to ice each other out. So these are all moves we don't do anymore. Like, and I'm talking about we could not talk for like weeks, like in the house. Talking to the kids and talking about things that had to do with the kids, but literally not say two or three words to each other. It was crazy. Like
it was really uncomfortable.
It was so uncomfortable, but we would both like do it until we couldn't do it anymore. And then one night I kicked him. Okay, I kicked him in the bed because he did something like, I don't know, he moved the covers or he did something, and he pulled the covers really tight, and he was like, "You have assaulted me." And,
I remember that. Yes.
You have assaulted me. I'm not going to be assaulted by my wife. It's bad enough you're not talking to me. And I guess when he did it like that, and he was like, I'll never let you do that again to me. We won't be married, right? So when he did this whole assault thing, I remember calling my girlfriend And like, now we hadn't talked for like, I'm like, yo, this dude said that I assaulted him with the palm of my foot, and he said if I do it again, he's gonna call the police, and and that he was gonna leave. And she just started cracking up. She's like, girl, y'all are just the craziest people in the world. Like, that was his way of talking to you, because she knew we were icing each other out. And she's like, maybe what y'all need to do is talk. And so after that moment, it was kind of defining for me, because I'm like, oh wow, people can interpret things through so many different lenses.
Yeah.
And he felt really harmed, and because we weren't talking, we couldn't clear the air. And so I was like, I'm never not gonna share my feelings, and I'm never not gonna apologize, if I hurt someone, because he wouldn't talk to me after that kick. He was like making me say, you have to apologize. He's like,
it was the one leg up I had, brother-in-law. One leg up. I couldn't let off the hook easy, right?
You're gonna apologize, yeah. And I was like, okay, I apologize.
So you did it. You did that kick on purpose. That was a purposeful thing.
Purpose, or if it. I think by the end, the story goes, it was not on purpose, but it may have been intentional.
I felt like that kick was intentional, because we argue, right? We still in the bed together, and I love my wife, so I'm I'm trying to get my feet to touch her feet. So it was always going to be a kick to break the ice. Right. We got to work this out, baby. Like, get out. Yes.
But
that's a beautiful thing.
I did the kicking that time, and he was like, you have kicked me. And I was like, what is wrong with this crazy person?
Well, that stuff right there, which you guys are talking about right now, is just like dynamic things that have occurred through the years that have kept y'all together, and also pushing each other away from time to time, but still keeping that link together. But has there been like things that's happened that external people have done? Like, let's just say, for instance, how like some couples, their kids can break them up, because the kids be doing wild stuff and they don't agree on how to do it. Did y'all ever dealt with anything like that?
I'd say we're pretty guarded about our friend base, like our friends. I don't think we have any friends for years. I'd say for at least 20 years that would do things that would be harmful to the relationship, right? I think we're really intentional about surrounding ourselves with like-minded couples and or friends that only want the best for us, so they don't bring no bullshit to the relationship or the friendship,
I hear that. Yeah. What about family members? Like, how like sometimes family members can bring some external crazy stuff. Like, sometimes it could be like the man's mother don't like the wife, or some things like this.
I have a wonderful mother-in-law.
Yes, indeed, you really do.
But I will say,
go ahead.
I have a wonderful mother-in-law, and I know I'm extremely blessed. I will say, again, these are things like, so we've been 20-something years in. So, but there have been encroachments from his family that have, our family is very much more individualistic for whatever reason. We are not, there's not a lot of codependencies. And that's not how his family is, I would say. And there's this like nature that I had to adapt to, being in the family, knowing that what was mine was theirs. And my husband brought that mentality into the relationship. You also have to really deal with the dynamic where, like, my husband was an exceptional athlete. He was a college athlete, then he got a job, and then he became successful in a different way that some of his family members have not. So we are looked at very differently in his family, where that's not how it is in my family. Like, that's just not the dynamic. Right. And so again, early on, that was a stressor. I wouldn't say it was a deal breaker. Yeah. Because one of the things I love about my husband is there is a hierarchy in his house, in the way he manages things. And I will tell you, and it's true even for me too. Ain't the Jameses here, the Jameses in this house is the ones who matter. Like, you can ask my kids. This was my mantra, because Jalen been with his wife since they were in high school. Yeah. So Jalen always want to, do things with her. Before she was a James, I used to tell him, I don't care about nobody whose last name ain't James.
You did say it all the time.
I don't care. Like, I like her. I like, and I like that you like her, but she not a James. I don't care. And that's how my husband is. Like, so there's an impenetrable wall around us. So
yeah.
he's not going to make me too uncomfortable. Now, will he do uncomfortable things? Absolutely. Like, I got pregnant. I gotta tell this story.
Please do.
And my foot size grew. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just the foot size.
That's why your closet is empty.
Oh, man.
This is why your closet is empty, because your mouth is too damn small.
Brother-in-law, I was looking at you the whole time like, don't do it. Don't do it.
This is why your closet is empty. This is exactly why. This is why.
Y'all have to edit this out, y'all.
My foot size grew. Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Rhea.
And so my husband, in his very kind way, because not just my feet grew, other parts of me grew too. And I was sad about it, because you know what you look like before you're pregnant. So Bruce went and bought me my shoes in the size, that they were going to be after I had the baby, the lower foot size. And they were brand new. And I love these shoes. I couldn't wait to wear them. They were beautiful. And, I was a sweatshirt, t-shirt kind of girl. So I had the baby. So one beautiful thing, like, if my mother-in-law is watching, I love when you came. My mother-in-law came and stayed with me for like over a month when I delivered this child. Okay. And it was a traumatic kind of experience. So she came, and so she cleaned our house and all of this stuff. And she saw my shoes. Now, I wasn't around, because after I delivered my baby, I had to go right back to school. So, her care was so I could go to school, finish school. And I came home one day, and those shoes were on my mother-in-law's feet.
So what happened?
So I said, she said, my mother-in-law is a generous, so she said, you see the shoes my son brought me? Let me tell you, I went into his whole behind. Okay, that powder on my tongue, I was like, you mother. Why you won't give away my shoes? Like, and he was so hurt though, because you could see he's like, I can buy you new ones. I can't, because you can't even wear them still. He was
like, we're 2 sizes too small now. Like, come on. Not to put the business all out there, but, we were gonna get to that when we got to it, man.
That's so funny, because I was thinking that sometimes these external forces, they could work on a good relationship, and they drop these little seeds from time to time that can erode it if the people inside the relationship allow it. You know what I mean? So for example, from my family, I always see people always talk about because you don't only like wifey type, like, female in our family. No disrespect to the other, the other used cars that got a couple mileage on.
See, damn, you were doing so good.
but these women who are I'll just say haven't been in the lifelong marriage or never married or engaged and stuff, they always will drop little hints and things and say stuff like, well, y'all don't know because you've been married or you got this and other. And I call that's a little bit of hating, for real. But when people are doing that, I think that's like throwing out little seeds that could be planted into your mind and soul, and you can react to them in certain kinds of ways. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I guess you guys are intentional in terms of making sure like those types of things don't happen, or like identifying those things and all that. Working through.
James's.
But
I hear that.
I gotta say this. So I started to make the shift in terms of not letting external things affect the marriage and affect our relationship. When Sarita always used to say, look, there's a fucking cost to you giving from the home, right? And I started to notice, you know, if I sent money home or purchased things that I didn't discuss with Rita, I wasn't the one that had to stay up late to make that money up, right? It would be my wife who stayed up till 2 and 3 in the morning. And then I was like, nah, this shit is not right, right? So again, those were the types of things where I had to make a shift and say, one, let's discuss it with my wife first, right? And two, I didn't want to do anything that would hurt or impact my family, my nucleus.
I hear that.
That's where it came for me, you know.
Prioritize, but you put your priorities straight, right?
You know, I get this question all the time from the group chat and from like, how was it being married to somebody who, so for years, you know, my husband really held our household down because I was in school at least 8, 9, 10 years of our initial part of our relationship.
Right.
So how was that for you to have to take care? And hold on, he not only had to take care of me, he had to take care of kids each time. Like our kids are 4 years and 5 days apart. So he had to take care of me and 2 other children. And then we bought a dog.
I know. 2 dogs too at some point, right?
Well, I was at school when the second dog came, but that first dog, I was still in school. And you know, so he had to really hold down the household while I really wasn't making any money. So people always ask me, like, how did that work for you? What did I do to make you do it, kind of thing?
I mean, we agreed to do everything that we did as a couple, right? You didn't enroll in school or we didn't make decisions without kind of discussing it with each other, right? So I knew the understanding while you were in school would be that I would take care of the home, I would cook, I would clean if we had to clean, whenever I did that, right? But I understood that what you were doing was for the betterment of our family. So we all had roles during that time, right? So that doesn't mean some days I wasn't exhausted or I didn't want to watch the kids for 10 hours while you were going to school. But again, you would drive 2 hours to the university at, you know, Howard University. So we both had challenges and sacrifices that we made that we knew would benefit the family. So yeah, sometimes I missed you because she'd be gone a lot, right? But I always knew, you know, the things that Sarita were doing were to benefit us. So
that's what's up. That's a real partnership.
Yeah, man. But I mean, it's a partnership, you know?
Yeah.
She had her obligation, and I had mine. And mine at the time was to take care of the family in the house. So, I mean, I didn't mind it at all.
What is it like being, so because of that, there is a dynamic that might exist in our relationship that doesn't exist in others, which is my husband is like the soccer dad, okay, and the horseback riding dad, and everybody's, you know, sports dad, you know, like I used to go to the few times I would go, everybody would be like, oh, this is my work husband. And I'd be looking at them like, bitch, you stay trying to label things that don't belong to you, but okay. Right. So what was it like being in these experiences where you'd be the dad with all these moms a lot of times?
I mean, of course, like for the most part, everyone was kind of just cool. They understood you were around, right? But again, my wife, you know, Sarita wasn't able to come to a lot of events, but sometimes you had moms, you know, that would be inappropriate because they were always like trying to probe and say, well, your wife is never here, what's going on? And then those are the times where I'm like, stay in your lane, mind your fucking
yeah.
You know, there was something that if you wanted to feed into it, you could, but it wasn't where our focus was as a family, and definitely not mine. I'm there to watch my kids. But, you know, the one thing we missed as a family was Sarita being at some of those events. And I know, you know, you talk about that often and saying that's your one regret is you felt like you were away from the family a lot. But the kids understood it. They understood why you weren't there, just like I understood why you weren't there. But as a family, we always made it work, you know?
You know, I was going to ask y'all that if there's one thing that y'all could change about this journey, like what would it be?
You want to go first, Rita?
I don't think I want to change anything. I wouldn't change anything, honestly. I think everything came together as it should. I always tell him I wish I was like his first girlfriend or something. Yeah.
Hey, don't we all wish that? Yeah. I mean, and that's what hey, right now, that's what I say. I would say to a female if I'm about to meet her. So you know, when you talk about your background and shit, she want to run the resume, and I'll be like, damn, Slim, you should have waited till it was gonna be some point in your life that God was gonna bring a good man to you. You should have been knowing that.
You won't be the only owner on the Carfax, right? You won't be the only owner on the Carfax. Right?
Yeah.
I'm a used car. So I would love to have, if I could have changed that. But other than that, I think every experience got us to the deep, passionate love that we have now. And I loved that we were friends. Like, I see the value of liking someone before you like them. If
I feel that.
You know, I liked him. You know, I liked him as a person, and you know, understood his values. I knew a lot about him before I had the burden of intimacy and all of that other stuff that comes with it when you start to say we're dating, you know. And so I love that, like, that we had that time. And I, even when we first started dating, I don't know if you remember this, I was like, we can break up. I mean, I love your friendship. We just be best friends again. You know,
so resistant to it at first. Yeah,
I was always like, we ain't gotta be together. Like, you ain't got to choose me. Like, let's just go back. You know, like, so, because it was that good. Like, our friendship was that pure. So I would have given up the title girlfriend if we could have just had friend. Like, if it was going to change our friendship, like if our friendship and relationship was going to change it, but it didn't. It didn't change it at all.
What about you, Bruce?
I think for me, I would change us not being kind to each other initially. Like, when we were in our 20s and 30s, we spent a lot of days beefing and fussing about shit that really didn't matter when you think about it. And even in those disagreements, I wish that we could have been more kind to each other, right? Think about each other first and each other's feelings, and put that before wanting to be right, you know, or win the argument.
That's what's up. That's a beautiful, you know, I guess that's what y'all would that's the advice I would give y'all younger self. If you could go back in time, right? You would tell y'all younger self that. What you think? What advice would you give your younger self or people right now in terms of relationships? You know,
so my
younger super soft to make it work. Go ahead.
So I think my younger self, because I think my younger self, I would say, like, all the tension, like the pursuit of winning is never better than the relationship, right? Like, I don't need to win to be loved or to be wrong. I think also I would tell myself that it's okay to be vulnerable with somebody who is not perfect. And that's the thing, like, you know, I think we're all looking for this perfection in relationship.
Back on.
Yeah, quit. It was just that was just a little blink of the eye.
It's one of those past disagreements.
So, like, I think I don't look for perfection in our relationships. I think that no person is perfect. And I'm not perfect. Like, I like to believe I am, but I'm not. You know, there's no perfect person. There's no perfect situation. And when you're looking for that, then that's when everybody's flaws become that much more highlighted. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the beauty of being someone's friend. Because when they're your friend, you don't care about their little small imperfections, you know. But when they're your partner, all of that becomes illuminated, and you're like, well, you're supposed to put me first. Well, not all the time. Like, sometimes I'm supposed to go to bed by myself and do all this stuff, and not, like, we're supposed to be okay. So I think that's what I would tell my younger self, and that I didn't always know, because we didn't have great examples of, like, marriage and love. I didn't know that me and my husband were gonna I think I always had an exit plan. You know, before. So when we were fighting, it was always the only option was to get out, leave. Blah,
right.
You know, our fights were so ugly back then, and then now that's not the only choice. Like, it's, it's so many other things, and so I think that's another lesson I would tell myself. Like, you know, leaving and kicking someone out and, you know, withdrawing from them is not the only way to cope with the hard things.
I feel that. What about you, brother?
So I had to jump on the phone. So what was the question again? Because I'm on a different platform.
Yeah, basically, like, if you could go back to your younger self, or give somebody else some advice on, like, basically the secret sauce to make things work, you know, what would it be for you?
I would say being honest from the jump, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
exhausting to not be truthful at the onset of a relationship and then have to
Mm-hmm.
carry that shit throughout the relationship, because then you're always wondering if you've been honest. What tracks do you have to cover? You know, did you say this or did you say that before? So I think honesty, you know, will erode if it's lost in a relationship, right? And it's so hard to get back. So I would say to be honest from the jump, man. It makes the relationship a lot easier, and you know, you won't have the same complications later in that relationship.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Hey, well, it's been beautiful watching y'all relationship through these years, and I want to just wish y'all continued success and evolution in your path of enlightenment together. It's just
Absolutely.
been beautiful to see what y'all been producing. And I was telling my sister earlier that the selection of the person you're gonna be with in life, especially who you create kids with, is so
Yeah.
vitally important. And like these days, you get to see, the outcome of people having indiscriminate behavior and action and choices in that way, like what happens with these
Right.
kids. But I wanted to go back to that game we was finishing up last time.
Oh yeah.
Prepared this time. I'm better prepared this time.
Y'all better prepare. Well, I got
You
a
ready,
question
Reed?
I got a question for y'all both, right?
Okay.
And
Let's do it.
this for y'all both to tell me about what y'all think for one another. So since I already know Bruce's answer to this, but it's the same question. It's what's your most prized personal possession?
Is this me asking for him or answering?
Yeah. So for Bruce,
What
what do you think Bruce's most prized personal possession is?
So he owns a jacket that his dad had, that his dad gave him.
Mhm.
And then he has his football helmet.
Ding, ding, ding. The football helmet Bruce said the football helmet, and then also the his wedding ring.
Oh,
Yeah.
wedding ring. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
yours. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, and so he asked me those questions. So ask him what my answers.
what do you think hers is?
Rita's most prized possessions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Her bracelet. She has a custom bracelet that we bought. I think it would be the custom bracelet and her AKA paraphernalia. She loves it.
Is that
the
right?
house is pink and green. The house is pink and green.
I mean, the bracelet for sure is.
Did I get that?
You got that right. And I do love my paraphernalia, but that's not my most pride. I would have said my family.
Okay.
Brother-in-law. She's getting a closet remodeled just because she needs more space. Thousands of dollars on this. I'm like, okay, but I got you.
Like there's some attachment to some things. Now don't be the hoarder like our grandmother now. You know what I mean? Shout out to Grandma Rose, you know what I'm saying? She had two of everything in the whole world. You know what I mean?
I shout her out even more so because she was the person. She told me when I was a kid, be careful who you procreate with.
Yeah, no doubt. She's telling us all that.
She understood that in some way because I was a child, like 4 or 5, and she said that,
Yeah. So then I want to know what is the most adventurous thing that y'all have ever eaten?
I know we've eaten termites.
Y'all ate termites?
We ate termites.
Did the termites try to eat through y'all stomach?
We were in the jungle. We did this jungle tour.
Yeah.
They were telling us how we could survive in a jungle, and they said that everything in the jungle is designed to help you or hurt you. And
what?
Yeah.
And look, we bore a hole into a tree, and you have to stick your finger into the tree, and live termites will crawl on, and you eat them. And watch this. What did they taste like, Rita?
Mint.
You remember? Yep, peppermint. They taste like peppermint.
Mm-hmm.
They taste like peppermint.
Out of here.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, man.
Also,
yeah,
so somebody could fill up on, hey, that see, we
good.
teach you
You
some
could.
survival skills. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
That's right.
you could. And so, and look, I almost didn't eat them, but the little tour guy was like, my lady, it's not that bad," and it wasn't. I could eat them.
And I had to check him for. He kept saying, "My lady." I was like, "I got to check you, brother.
I know.
This is
Hey, when you
this is
talk about my
James."
lady, that's inflammatory. You know what I mean? All right, this is the last one. So it
All right.
says, "What's my family nickname, and who gave
Mm.
it to me? And who gave it to you?"
Come on, Reed.
I know the family nickname, but I get confused on who got it, and you told me it recently too. The family nickname is Wiki,
Hmm.
and it either came from Amber, Lexi, or Robin.
So
I
one of
think
them.
Lexi. I think it's Lexi. Or is it Amber? Amber. Amber.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Yes, Rita.
Lexi.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so what about Sarita, brother? What's her
Oh,
joint?
short round.
Yeah,
Short
that's right.
round.
And who gave it to her?
Short.
Huh?
Her dad.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
That's right.
Hey, so
Short
y'all did really
round.
good. Y'all got them all this time.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Rita.
Hey, y'all went ahead and got that recalibration.
Compared to last time, they were just so
Hey,
deep. The questions were so
hey,
deep.
brother-in-law, you bringing us even closer. Look at
I
that.
see that.
I, I do want to say one last thing as we move into like our holiday season. And honestly, because we're going to be taking a break a little bit for the show before till New Year's, but I want to like point out like how important this time in the Rose Garden is, not just to us, but to other people. And I always reflect back to like how this started for me and you, which it really was this ode to celebrating Grandma Rose's grandchildren and the gifts that she gave us and what we learned as living this human experience. So before Grandma died, she knew my husband, and she was very impressed with him all the time. And I know one of the things that she used to say is that he had a good sense of family, and that is what I hope that we give each other as we continue to grow, is like family. And I never understood what sense of family meant, because we had this like kind of fractured family kind of system ourselves. But what I now know is it's not just like our nuclear family, and I'm working to develop this extended family love that is not natural to me. And I'm thankful that I have a husband who does know how to do that. So I think this holiday season, we're going to be learning how to continue to create new memories and new ways of loving each other. And I hope that everybody else does. I have enjoyed hanging out in the Rose Garden this year.
Yeah,
This is kind
yeah,
of a dream come true. We talked about it. We're in episode
yeah.
one. We did like 50 episodes, which is crazy. And we
Well,
have
I
so
want
much.
I want to give Bruce the privilege of closing us out, but I want to also just piggyback off of what you said on the family thing, and I want to give you know, Bruce credit for a couple of things personally, because I think being your husband, he doesn't have to, he's not required to have to build, a relationship with your family. But there's been several opportunities, just personally between me and you, Bruce, where, you've
Mhm.
reached out in some, critical, moments of my life, and
Yeah.
just establish that real brotherly bond. And I would say that by extension of the extended family, your mother embraces me as her son. I embrace her as a mother as well. And it's like just a beautiful thing and lovely that that occurred, dynamically, And I feel like
Absolutely.
it's like you can't you can't make this up again in 1,000 million years for it to fall into line like it did. But I think it's a beautiful
Right.
thing. So you show me a lot. I learned a lot from you know, because like Sarita said, we don't really have great examples of flourishing long relationships and family bonds. But I learned a lot from what I see of your experience with her, you know, and the man that you are.
Yeah.
And, we the elder men in the, in the family now. So
Yes, sure.
we
Yes.
got a high mantle. But I'll let you take us out, brother.
All right. Well, again, I love being a part of this family, man. I love you. I love the Jordans. I love y'all, the Braxtons. And it's been an honor to be a part of the family. I see parts of all of you guys in Sarita, right? And that's the beauty of it. You know, she's taken all the best parts of everyone, right? And that's what has made her who she is, the beautiful person that she is. So I love you. I look forward to us doing this again. I look forward to us continuing to strengthen our bond as a family. And we'll see you guys next time.
All right, till next time.
Bye for now.
All right, later.